during harvest season when we've got a lot of tractors on the road, lots of agricultural buses transporting people to and from, and then showing up at the NGOs. And NGOs, of course, don't turn anybody away. It's a humanitarian issue as well.
Good evening, Marty, and the reality is it's not just one family that we're seeing here. All day long we've seen group after group of migrants cross through that gap in the wall you see over here. Actually just
Well, News Nation is the only cable network taking you directly to the U.S.-Mexico border with a dedicated correspondent. Robert Sherman started his 2-week tour in San Diego with the story of deported U.S. veteran finally welcomed home after a decade. And today, Robert arrived in Yuma, Arizona, and it did not take long for his crew to encounter this family desperately seeking a fresh start. The family walked from Colombia right up to our News Nation team, begging for water and for help flagging down Border Patrol. Robert Sherman joins us live from Yuma. And Robert, this is a sector that's actually already seen a 2,000% increase in border encounters compared to last year.
It has, Nicole, and these aren't just numbers on paper. We've been standing in the same spot for hours today, and it has been one migrant crossing after another. Some of them have been pretty dire. Out of the Arizona darkness emerged Jorbulo Cristo and his family. For the past 8 days, they've been traveling to the U.S. from Colombia.
Agua, water.
Parched, cold, and tired, they finally made it this morning.
Gracias por el agua.
They're not alone. This family arrived less than an hour later in the exact same spot. The father trying to carry his daughter the last bit across a canal.
And it just doesn't stop. That's the real tragedy, right? So it just continues to compound itself.
Jonathan Lyons, Yuma County supervisor, says this happens every day here. Brand new Customs and Border Protection numbers show the Yuma sector has seen a nearly 2,400% increase in migrant encounters compared to this time last fiscal year, putting a strain on the local hospitals and 911 call centers. The Yuma Gap gets its name from the gaping spaces in the border fence along the sector's 156 miles. Lyons believes unless the federal government gives them more assistance, the surge here won't go away.
We need them to fulfill their commitments on finishing this wall. The added security, additional agents here along the line, allowing them to do their border to keep us safe.
More wall would help curb drug smuggling and divert migrant traffic to the east, making the job easier for Border Patrol. But some migrants are absolutely determined to come, like Cristo and his family. And people like them find themselves here every single day.
Quiero que me ayude.
I need help. I heard the United States gives political asylum to people. I want to ask for help.
Sí, sí, sí.
And Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas was in Yuma last month, where he promised local leaders that he would give this sector more resources. Those local leaders tell us that they're hoping that happens, but they're not banking on it. Nicole?
Yeah, those resources definitely needed. Such compelling video there, Robert. Thank you.
La señora que está ahí ya la habían devuelto, viene de Perú, pero la habían devuelto para el país de ella, pero ya no sé qué, no se fue, le habían dado 30 días, entonces está en México y hasta ahorita volvió a pasar.
Outside Yuma, Arizona, new position, section of the fence, it's illuminated. We were using headlights yesterday, but that only gave us a little pool. There's fence. Border Patrol's down there. We just chatted. That gentleman in the van. He's checking us out, our stories out on YouTube. So that's a good thing.
Hey, Booth. And you heard Christo's words there, seeking asylum, seeking help for all of the families that we've spoken with who have come through. Just about all of them telling us something similar. That's what they want here. Adrian. That was a pretty moving moment yesterday. We were just, I said, preparing for some of our morning reports, and the family just came up to us desperate for water, and you don't realize what that trek is or what that journey can do to you until you see it firsthand, and just how exhausted and how deprived this family was until they got here to the United States. But you could also see the look on their eye, thankful and so grateful to have finally let this journey come to an end. It was nothing like anything we've seen before.
New position for our third feed of the morning, Wednesday. Be just pre-dawn, just before sunrise. So we got the satellite truck, light bar hitting the fence in the background. Here's the gap, one of numerous, as you keep hearing me refer. I've ran two 50-foot BNCs with a barrel to make it to the sat truck. And I got camera just behind my van. Here's due east. Oh yeah, the sky's just lit up in the last 2 minutes. It's gonna be gorgeous. And I'm just gonna do single light since Sherman's gonna get illuminated by the sun below the sky, just a little extra fill. You know, sun will be about there. And we have a backlight. I did the previous two as tungsten white balance 3200, but for this one, I'm gonna go daylight. So that dam is in Mexico. We were right here yesterday, but I haven't actually shot in this direction. And we're coming up on a shift change with Border Patrol, which generally means you get a surge of migrants. So we're hoping for a little bit of migrant activity in the background of the live shot. We'll see. Yeah, shooting scenics, not bad. Pretty much everywhere is beautiful. Oh, mountains. We'll do some of this. All right, no cellular data service. There's audio, old school voice signal. So this will be our first satellite uplink. Potentially even use the sat phone for IFB. Yes, sir. Keep forgetting the name of this tiny town. I think it's Lukeville.
We begin today at the southern border. News Nation border correspondent Robert Sherman continues his border tour today, heading to Lukeville, Arizona, where border wall construction has taken a toll on the area's natural resources. Environmentalists saying the wall must come down in order to save the treasured desert landscape. Robert Sherman live from Organ Pipe National Cactus Park. So, Robert, you spoke to people on both sides of this issue.
We did, Nicole, and one thing that we found is that this is an issue hotly debated in all corners of the border, from cities and towns on the Rio Grande River to right here in one of our nation's most pristine parks. Tucked away in southern Arizona, you'll find Mother Nature's desert masterpiece, Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument, with sprawling cacti for miles on end. But running right through it, mankind's contribution to the landscape, the U.S.-Mexico border wall.
Well, the landscape has been completely altered.
Miles Traphagen with Wildlands Network says the construction of the border wall under the Trump administration devastated the area, destroying cacti that can live to age 200 and cutting off animals from essential water sources.
The jaguar, the American black bear, the Sonoran pronghorn, desert bighorn sheep, ocelots.
But when you have a gap right here, they can run 100 people right through that gap before I can even get there.
Brandon Judd, president of the National Border Patrol Council, however, says the border fence is an essential tool. The wall runs through the Tucson sector, which saw a 189% increase in migrant apprehensions during the 2021 fiscal year. Judd says having a wall makes agents 7 times more effective in some areas as the crossings get streamlined.
We're able to dictate to the cartels where the crossings will take place, and if we can do that, we can be a lot more successful.
So like everything else on the border, some hate the wall and the consequences it brings.
There are some places that will be impossible to restore.
Others say it's necessary.
It's not the be-all, end-all, but it is definitely a piece of the puzzle. And you put those pieces together, we can secure the border. We just can't do it right now.
So environmentalists say in order for a real difference to be made for wildlife, large portions of that wall must come down. But law enforcement says in order to properly secure the border, more of that wall must go up. Nicole?